Good evening, welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines. A late night, not exactly a meandering, because I thought I'd give you an update on Alan, the Canadian expat, which you all love to hate, I think. Well, let me see, where is the saga now? Well, for those of you, I have to give you a recount. For those of you who haven't seen other videos on this, and the fact that everybody who is looking in on this right now may not have known anything about Alan the expat is very clear because of the questions that some people ask. So what happened? He came to us, he asked us for help, he needed help getting to Manila, he needed help getting a ticket back to Canada. He is an unlikely looking Canadian, looks more like some kind of Middle Eastern immigrant. As most of you have said, he's not Canadian. All the Canadians said, oh, he can't be Canadian. He's not. He's one of those immigrants that come over just to take advantage of our social services, of which Canada is famous and incredible, by the way. So, what happened? He came and he asked for our help. Now, I have to admit that other than feel sorry for the young woman that we thought was his wife, turned out later it was not his wife, but he didn't reveal that, and he had a very young child, 2 years old, little girl, beautiful little girl, and his wife, quote unquote, is a lovely girl as well, and much younger than he is. Good grief, how can these old guys do it? Anyway, he came and he asked for help. We said, well, we'll do a video, and we did a video and we interviewed him and he gave us his story in several different versions at the same time, and we posted that. And then if I remember rightly, two Canadians stepped up and said, we'll help this man get home, and they sent a total of 17,000 pesos. So we gave Alan the 17,000 pesos and off he went to Manila. He went to Manila, he came back with a story that he had been to the embassy and that he had spoken to none other than the ambassador himself. Must have been on a lucky day. The ambassador had asked him how much money you got, and our Canadian explorer said, well, I got 57,000 pesos. So the ambassador himself did no more than say, why don't you let me have that money and I'll give you 4 grand back for your expenses to get home. So he gave up the money, didn't get a receipt. Well, you can't exactly ask the ambassador for a receipt, can you? Excuse me, ambassador, could I have a receipt for that 57,000 pesos? Well, he didn't. So he didn't come back with any documentation for the fact that he had been there. How did he know that it was the ambassador? Because he spoke to a lady as soon as the ambassador had disappeared back into his office with his money. And the lady said, well, actually that was the ambassador himself that you saw. So we are left with that as his story. Now, the idea was then that he was to then let the ambassador, as he's on such good terms with him, he was to let the ambassador know when he had the money for the ticket, or when he had a ticket. So then steps up one of our staunchest supporters, who was interested in the case simply because he was sorry for the young lady. Because it eventually turned out that Alan is not married to, well, he's not married to this lady, but he is married to another Filipino lady. So, our friend, Little Bit Rich, who you've all made jokes about it's getting old now, Little Bit Rich, well, he'll soon be a little bit poor, won't he? Oh, so funny that. I couldn't stop laughing. Anyway, out of the goodness of his heart, Little Bit Rich has pledged that he will give enough money to get this man home. So his ticket is now guaranteed, because we trust Little Bit Rich with our lives from experience. So Where does that leave us? Alan then asked for the money to be able to go back to Manila. And he went back to Manila courtesy of Little Bit Rich and the money that he gave him. He gave over 6,000 pesos. 1,000 was left with the girlfriend, and our friend Alan took off with the rest. Now he's supposed to be there, and he's waiting to come home. And he's been, and apparently he had been into the embassy, done whatever he had to do, and he'd been told that he had a leaving date. In other words, you better get out of town by this date, otherwise we're coming for you. And he was told the 13th of June. You've got until the 13th of June. Leave on or before that date or you're in trouble, as if he wasn't already. He was about 3 or 4 years out of status, for those who don't know. He had one entry into his passport, which was his legal entry with a 30-day free visa when he first came in, and he hadn't done anything since. And he said that he had lost some 70 or 80,000 pesos that he had given to someone who was going to fix it all up for him. Well, we all know someone like that would say, hey, give me the 70 or 80,000, I'll go, I'll fix it up for you, won't I? You can do that online, can't you, from Rio de Janeiro? Anyway, it didn't happen, and he's got a blank passport, and sometimes I think he's got a blank memory. But anyway, it's one of those that we're interested. Our focus is on the young woman who most people thought was as taken in by all of this as is possible. So she is the one that we contact. We contact her and we say what's happened with Alan. And now the update is, we gave her the cash for him to be able to get home to Bohol. Why did we give that? Because he finally, even though he had first refused, he finally sent emailed a copy of a document that was claimed to be from immigration, and we have no way of knowing that either one way or the other, so we accept that that's the situation. The actual crux of the situation is that Little Bit Rich, in his concern for this young lady, would like to see Alan on his way home, whatever that would take. And Little Bit Rich is little bit rich enough to be able to do that. So he sent a copy of the document which showed that he had been into immigration and that they had read the Riot Act to him, told him what the penalties were, and sent him away. And now he needed to get back here so he could tidy up his affairs, which he seems to have been very neglectful about doing in the past. Well, tidying up his affairs by that is. Anyway, he hasn't come back yet, even though it's been well over a week. Questions are from our subscribers, and they are valid. Well, how's he living? If he's got no money, how's he living? If I were in Manila, it would be costing me maybe 600 or 800 or 1,000 pesos a day, almost to sleep rough with a bit of cardboard under me. But apparently he has been able to do that. He must have some support there. And when we asked, his girlfriend said, well, he's waiting for a good price. So Monday we gave the cash to her. Monday afternoon she sent the cash to him. Questions about whether he really is in Manila were also in our own mind, and we did go around there to see her, and it kind of looks suspicious to us, but then other people said no, she looked quite relaxed and more interested in how she was going to send the money to him. So we took it on face value that in fact he wasn't there and must be in Manila. Tuesday, no response. Wednesday, let me see. Wednesday we asked for a receipt of the money having been sent, and she said yes, she had it. She didn't say that, yes, I'll give it to you. Thursday we mentioned the receipt again when we called. Is he back? No, he's not. Friday, let me see, Friday said, Alan, let me see, is waiting to get the best price on a ticket, an air ticket home. So we did a few inquiries ourselves, and for the 5,000 that he hopefully still had, he could easily get a lift, well, an air flight home. Saturday, that's today, we went around there and we asked for the receipt. He wasn't there. It did seem obvious that he was not there. We felt that way. We just didn't feel that, we didn't feel his presence. So, do you have the receipt? And actually, she gave us the receipt without being asked. We perused the receipt, and it said that the money had been sent, I think, remember, I'm not the figures person here, Beth is. She remembers all the numbers. But I think that she sent the money off, as she told us, at something like 4 o'clock or 4:30 on the Monday that she received the cash. And it's there. When you send money anywhere, where you sent it, how you sent it, what time it was, it all gets logged in. So she was telling the truth. She had sent the money as she said she has, and apparently he has been looking around to get a price on an air flight home. So right now, when is he coming home, we said. When is he coming back? And she said, he will be back in the next few days, either Monday or Tuesday. So, Monday or Tuesday we will be waiting, and of course you will be the first to know. That's our little update on our Canadian adventurer. We will look forward to the next installment. Bye for now. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share if you wish. Bye for now.